What's up? We have got a ZvZ that we don't really see too often. It's gonna be the blue Zerg Timbo Slice going up against the red Zerg Yellow Jello. Should be a fun one. Both these guys pretty evenly matched, have very similar MMR. We do see Yellow Jello play ZvZ more. He does play against Kevin once in a while. And Timbo, he tends to avoid this matchup. It's hard to blame him because ZvZ typically kind of like a knife fest, or I don't know how to put it, like a rock paper scissors-y kind of builds. I don't know. So what I mean by that is if you go for a hatchery first, that is good against a pool first, or rather a like a 16 pool or something. I think that's what Yellow Jello did. And then a 16 pool is good against a early pool, like a 12 pool or something. And then a 12 pool is good against a hatchery first. And then we typically see like Lingbane Wars, and if both players survive that, perhaps Roach Wars. Sometimes people go Mutas, and if it gets to the late game, we'll typically see Lurkers. And yeah, it's just pretty messy matchup in all stages of the game. That being said, Timbo did go for that hatchery first. Yellow Jello went for the I think 16 pool. I don't know the exact timing. So Timbo gonna be slightly better, and we can see that now. He was ahead in workers for a hot second there, but Yellow Jello just spawned a few more. These Lings really messing with Timbo's build right now. He is now supply blocked at 28. He's got 700 minerals, not even 3 minutes into the game. Overlord just spawning now, so he needs to put down more stuff, and he's going for a quick macro hatch. I guess that's a fine choice if you're floating so much money. I would have preferred to see it just on location on his third. You don't have to drone it up right away, but that is an option later on. Of course, it is a bit harder to defend, so maybe that is a factor. Timbo's Lings gonna go for a scout, and then he forgets about them, loses them. And curiously enough, Timbo has speed before Yellow Jello, but his completes as well. And it looks like Yellow Jello going for some aggression right now. He's got 6 Lings running across. Sorry, that's 5. I never learned how to count. And he's got more Lings spawning. Now, Timbo doesn't really have a whole lot on his side of things. He only has 30 workers. He tried to plug up that hole with a spine crawler, but he got quickly canceled. And Timbo, where's your stuff? 900 minerals, and he doesn't make anything until just now. These Lings are going to do so much damage, and it's not even a huge commitment from Yellow Jello. It's just a handful of Lings, and they are getting so much work done. Timbo, why were those Lings not started like a minute ago? I don't understand. And okay, he does clean it up now, but at what cost? He's down to 21 workers to the 44 of Yellow Jello. This is an absolute disaster. Yellow Jello is going for his third base. Timbo is stuck on 2. He's turtling up. He doesn't feel comfortable right now. And I think we're just gonna see a slow death for the blue Zerg player here. He's trying to drone back up, but he has an uphill battle. Yellow Joe running across with some more lings. He's got that third base. Some drones heading over there. Still a comfortable drone lead from the red Zerg, who is now morphing some banelings here. Timbo is going to find them, but he doesn't have enough to do anything about it. He does have a full wall here. So it is going to be difficult for Yellow Jello to get in. And he just loses a baneling for no reason. That's that Yellow Jello bane control for you. Timbo trying to find some counter damage, but no, there's too much from Yellow Jello currently. I will say, however, that the tech gonna be favoring Timbo slightly, who is on his Roachborn. But a lot of lings here for Yellow Jello, and not much here for Timbo. Yellow Jello only going for Ling Bane right now, and going to Hydras, curiously enough. Ling Bane Hydra, not really a composition in ZvZ, so kind of interesting. And then we do see the patented Yellow Jello blind spores, which is fine. I mean, you see your opponent turtling up like this, and I don't like this at all. He is sacrificing so much for this attack, fighting 3 spine crawlers, and then sticking around in that fight up against the broodlings as well. Yellow Jello losing a lot of lings there for almost no damage. But he can afford to make these trades. He is still very ahead in the worker count. Does have his Hydralisk den. Starting to get some Hydras now. And I guess Yellow Jello doesn't really want to press the issue. And Timbo, he's just going for a Roach Ravager composition, which is very standard for this matchup. What does worry me is he's only on 2 bases. So he does need to think about trying to equalize this game. Maybe go for an attack of his own. Yellow Jello is teching up to lurkers, but it's gonna be a while before they are at maximum strength. So there may be a window of opportunity for Timbo, but he needs to hit, and he needs to hit soon. We do see he is slightly ahead in the army count. Of course, that is a little bit inflated because roaches are quite supply heavy. But I think that is a lot of Hydras though. Yeah, I'm not sure about this fight. I do think Timbo needs to do something though, so he's gonna try, and I respect that. And let's see, I don't like this, however. He's wedging himself way deep. There is no way for him to get out. So he's either gonna win this fight or completely lose it. It looks like he is gonna lose it. And yeah, I do not like that positioning at all whatsoever. I do notice this from Timbo quite often. He kind of just like digs himself in to his opponent's base, and there's no way out. So now Timbo suffering heavy losses in that fight. He is down about 40 supply. He is on the back foot. Yellow Jello mounting a counter offense now, spawning or morphing a bunch of lurkers. They don't have their upgrades, but 9 lurkers on the way. That should be plenty to close the show here. Timbo being distracted by that Overseer, and for some reason he feels comfortable enough to drop his third. I would not feel comfortable after losing that fight over here. And this is why, because Yellow Jello with a huge attack now with lurkers, and this is going to be probably the GG. Timbo doesn't have lurkers of his own, and yep, there we go, Yellow Jello with game number 1. Welcome back to game number 2 in this best of 5 series between the Blue Zerg Timbo Slice and his opponent, the Red Zerg, with a pretty nice showing in that first game. It is Yellow Jello. Timbo with a slight error in his build, or maybe he's doing something else. He did drone up to 14. And going for a Overlord? Okay, maybe this is intentional, but I'm not sure what he's doing. Droned up to 14, got an Overlord, got gas, got another drone, then got his spawning pool. So this might be the +1 melee build, which is very strong in ZvZ. However, you don't typically get that Overlord that quickly. And what he's going to want to do is drop an Evo chamber when he reaches 28 gas, and a bit of an error here, only having 2 there, but he does correct that. And yep, there we go, the Evo chamber. Yellow Jello going for a hatch first. And yeah, the +1 timing gonna be very powerful. And Yellow Jello is going to need to identify this and get Banelings ASAP. We do see that +1 starting for Timbo. He's going to continue mining gas until 100, at which point he should completely pull off gas and completely commit to Zergling production. He does want to think about dropping the hatchery here, but that's only going to be for extra production. Yellow Jello, he sent his first Overlord on a kind of odd path. Typically in ZvZ, you just send it straight to the natural. There's no risk of losing it until the queens come out, which is, in this case, early, but in most cases, no, and it's not hard to escape a queen. In any case, we have that speed coming. Timbo stuck in gas for just a tiny bit too long. He has 4 gas, not the end of the world, of course, and he's going to continue to pump out lings. And when these upgrades are about 90% to 95% done, he should start moving out and hit a very crisp timing. Yellow Jello, none the wiser. No Baneling nest just yet. He does have some lings of his own on the way, and that's nice. However, unupgraded lings, not going to fare too well against +1 Zerglings. So Timbo with a huge opportunity here. Let's see if he can capitalize, and it is almost done. He needs to start moving out now. but he is not doing so, wasting a lot of precious time. Yeah, he should have already been inbound. He should be at his opponent's base when those upgrades complete. So wasting valuable time right here, allowing his opponent to maybe get up to Banelings. And Yellow Jello, I think he had enough time to maybe wall off, but now he is in the thick of it. These +1 Zerglings absolutely decimate the Zerglings of Yellow Jello. Banelings on the way, but Timbo not focusing them. He had time, but he doesn't know the progress on them, so he goes for drones instead. Now he's going to have to micro and avoid these Banelings. Oh! Oh my god! Okay, good control so far. Goes back into the natural and eats up that queen. This mineral line completely barren. And it's going to be a GG, and Timbo's going to tie things up, one apiece. Welcome back to game number 3. We are all tied up, one apiece. This is the blue Zerg Timbo Slice and the red Zerg Yellow Jello. It's a good build last game from Timbo with the +1 melee. I think he could have hit a little bit earlier, but it all worked out in the end. Yellow Jello, I think he could have survived if he got in that Baneling nest a little bit earlier. But of course it was hard for him to identify that. He should have... alarm bells should have gone off when he spotted the lack of natural in the last game. And I think he maybe could have had time to like wall off his front with a couple evolution chambers, buy time for his Banelings. So the execution on the defense, not quite up to par in the last game from this man here, but we are all tied up, and in game number 3 we have both players doing a hatchery first. Quite even. Timbo eking out an extra drone, and oh, his gas was really late. That's interesting. I'm not sure why he went for such a delayed gas. We do see Yellow Jello. He got a normal timed gas. He's going to get his speed right away. There it goes. And yeah, Timbo only just started mining gas, so he's not going to have ling speed for quite a while. And that's a little bit concerning to me, but we'll see how it plays out. Obviously, lings with speed can just run laps around lings without speed. Let's see if Yellow Jello goes for any kind of aggression here. Both players even on workers, so pretty even game so far. Timbo gonna drop a creep tumor. Not the most important thing in this matchup, but it's good to have a little bit. 2 lings of Yellow Jello gonna run in for a scout. Yeah, they don't really see too much. They're both gonna go down. And Timbo continuing to mine gas here with all of his drones on that gas. Yellow Jello has pulled off one, I guess. He's mining with 2 drones. He's getting a baneling nest. He's getting 16 lings. And keep in mind, he has that speed already. Timbo's only about halfway done. So big opportunity here for Yellow Jello. Timbo is walling off the front. He's being very defensive. And I think he should be okay with 3 queens over here if he decides to pull his main queen. And these 2 spine crawlers should be pretty good as well. However, if Yellow Jello decides to go for a bust on these spines, he has a chance. But this, absolutely not. What is you doing? You're just throwing away all your lings. And yeah, you get a spine crawler. Good job, buddy. But what's the point? And yeah, he just lost all his lings. And now Yellow Jello down 11 workers. He's getting a little cheeky, going for burrow. Interesting. Yellow Jello going for burrow, getting his roach warren, getting his 3rd as well. And no layer yet. Burrow not that useful without the burrow movement of the roaches. Timbo likewise going for a roach warren. He already has his layer. The timing on that kind of wonky because you don't really, you're not making use of that layer right now. You can't even get roach speed yet, but that'll be finishing up momentarily. There we go. And roach speed should be on the way. Look at this roach one. We've got a little... Oh no, the icon blocked it. There's like a little roach in there. Yellow Jello moving out with some lings once again. Timbo should have spotted it with his overlords. But how is his reaction? Well, he has roaches of his own, so he should be fine. And Yellow Jello just going for a hatchery tech attack. So maybe he intends to just burrow his wounded units. But that's quite micro-intensive. Let's see if he can pull it off, or if he even goes for it. It looks like he might be backing up, or maybe not. I don't know. But let's take a look at this roach warren once again. We do see there's something in there. There's like a roach in there. Which makes sense, I suppose, right? It's a roach warren after all. Anyways, here comes Yellow Jello, Ling Roach Ravager. But Timbo has Roach Ravager of his own. Both players on not even upgrades. Alright, Timbo with the 1-1. So, Timbo with a pretty good army. He's got Roach Speed finishing up momentarily. Yellow Jello not even on a layer yet. Still questioning why he got such an early burrow and no layer. I don't understand. But Timbo, he's got the worker lead still. It is only now just evening up. The army count gonna be favoring Yellow Jello a little bit, but the upgrades favoring Timbo. So this is a very interesting matchup, interaction, whatever you want to call it. Let's see if Timbo can make something happen. Please don't wedge yourself in the back here again. Just go for a straight up fight where you can pull back if you need to. And here he comes with his 1-1. Dropping some good biles. Got a little bit. And forcing his opponent to move back. And yeah, with the reinforcements, I don't know if he can stick around too much longer. But Timbo dropping some good biles. A lot of injured roaches here. I'd like to see Yellow Jello maybe burrow some of his wounded roaches. Oh my god, just eating those biles. Timbo just carpet bombing with those biles. But defender's advantage gonna be a little too good for Yellow Jello. And Timbo not macroing back at home. Look at his money. Oh no, Yellow Jello with a big opportunity here for a counterattack while Timbo's rebuilding. And these Lings giving chase are gonna get cleaned up. One Ravager does go down, and Yellow Jello doesn't have his speed yet, so Timbo, oh, and big missed opportunity, could potentially have chased that down. But it looks like things are perhaps equalizing. Timbo with 18 roaches in production. I don't think he wants to progress further in this game. I think he wants to just end it. Let's see if he can find that game-ending damage. His third base barely saturated, so Yellow Jello now with the lead. Timbo, I think he is kind of just sitting on his lead here. He has the upgrade lead, he has the army lead, but kind of just not doing anything. He is moving out now, okay. And his opponent is trying to tech up to Hydras, so this is a good opportunity for Timbo. But can he find the damage? They are pretty even on worker count, and that's going to favor Timbo thanks to his upgrade advantage. And here he comes. Let's see. Some Biles coming down from both players, not getting the best shots on either side. Yellow Jello with the better angle, I think, but the upgrades of Timbo quite strong. Is the defender's advantage gonna swing this into Yellow Jello's favor? I think maybe just barely, it looks like. Yeah. Yellow Jello gonna force Timbo to retreat once again. So that is another hold. And that bodes well for Yellow Jello because he is still up in workers. He now has his Hydra tech. And just sprinkle a couple Hydras in this army. They can deal so much DPS from the back lines. Timbo still not really droning up, so I don't know. I think he needs to find more damage right now. He's getting his 2-2. And if he can get that could be good. Yellow Jello is getting his 1-1. He already has his +1 attack. Timbo, what are you doing over here? Kind of a random spot now. Yellow Jello going for an attack of his own, and Timbo very out of position. But Yellow Jello not going to capitalize on that. He probably could have gotten some damage done at this third. All he gets is a queen over there. Army count still favoring Timbo, but the gap is closing. The Hydra's gonna be very helpful. Just a few Hydras. You don't need a lot. They just pepper in the additional damage, and that could be all you need in a fight. Here we go. We're gonna see another fight here. The start of that better for Timbo because Yellow Jello was a bit on the ramp, and Timbo walking into the concave might be just enough for him, dropping some Biles. Yellow Jello gonna move forward to avoid them, but the army of Timbo a little too huge with his +2 attack, +2 Carapace finishing up shortly, and Timbo with a massive army now in Yellow Jello's third. He's gonna once again wedge himself deep into the back of his opponent's base. This time it looks a lot better. These Ravagers kind of derping around. And can Yellow Jello muster a defense? No, he's gonna tap out. GG. And Timbo puts himself on match point. Welcome back to game number 4 in this best of 5 series. We're looking at the main base of the Blue Zerg player who is up 2 games to 1. It is Timbo Slice. And his opponent with his back against the ropes, it is Yellow Jello. Game number 4, Yellow Jello with the odd build this time. His Overlord was kind of late. I didn't catch exactly what happened there. I think he droned up to 14 and then got the Overlord, not really sure. But in any case, we are going to see a pool first from both players. It's actually a gas then pool for Timbo. Just a pool for Yellow Jello. So that does mean Timbo gonna have the earlier ling speed. He's gonna have a little bit less mineral income. And let's see how this shakes out. Both players getting their expansions. And Yellow Jello now getting his gas, but again, a little bit delayed. And I wonder if either player wants to go for some kind of aggression. I feel like this was kind of more of a safety for both players. But let's see. Timbo going for the Baneling Nest now. Getting the Baneling Nest before speed even. So he probably wants to go for some kind of aggression. We'll have to wait and see. 100 gas, and where's that speed? Oh, there we go. Okay. And 4 lings in production. It looks like Timbo is gonna go all in on this Ling Bane attack, perhaps. And this could very well just work out for him. No Banelings from Yellow Jello, no roaches, no additional tech. So Timbo with an opportunity here, perhaps. And 8 more lings in production. Scout coming out from Yellow Jello, and this is very important. Timbo's gonna have to try to deny this scout, but not too many tools available to really deny it at this stage of the game. So I think Yellow Jello should be able to identify this. Gonna get a drone for his troubles as well, and that's not too shabby. Yellow Jello now does see 6 lings. That's not very telling. It's unfortunate he couldn't get into the main. So 6 lings, pretty normal at this stage of the game. So Yellow Jello may not suspect anything. He is getting his own Baneling Nest. And he's gonna need Banelings soon. Timbo, his speed finishes up, and he's gonna circumvent this Overlord. And Yellow Jello, unaware, it's going for his 3rd base. We might be seeing a 3-1 from Timbo. Yellow Jello's Baneling Nest not done yet. He's setting himself up for the later game. But here's Timbo with a lot of lings. Yellow Jello morphing 2 Banes, however, and that might be his saving grace. He is up a lot in workers, and these lings, oh, barely do not get the scout. Timbo morphing a lot more Banelings. And he might be giving his opponent a little too much time, who is now spawning a bunch more lings. And Timbo, oh no. Probably not going to be able to find too much damage now that Yellow Jello has Banelings and a lot of his own Zerglings. Poor control from Yellow Jello, losing a Baneling there for no reason. And Timbo gonna try to just settle for this 3rd, perhaps. Yellow Jello cannot really comfortably attack into this. 1 Baneling from Yellow Jello, not sure what this little guy hopes to accomplish. And good enough control from Timbo to avoid that. And Yellow Jello, what are you doing? Oh, fighting the Banelings. Losing almost all his lings there. For what? What was the reasoning to take that fight there? And now here comes Timbo. The wall is not tight. And oh no. Okay, a couple Banelings crashed into that queen. I don't know, I think maybe one or two. So 10 drones going down, but I think the spawning lings and the queens should be able to hold this off. The additional lings from Timbo do get in, and Yellow Jello is gonna need to buy time for these Banelings that just started. The lings kind of just running around each other. Wait, what's happening here? I think Timbo tried to target fire the Banes and then ended up losing all his lings for no reason. So poor fight there from Timbo, and Yellow Jello stabilizes. He lost some workers, but he's still up 20-17. Timbo now looks like he wanted to go for another attack. He's gonna catch the counter from Yellow Jello. He does get some good Baneling shots on most of the lings. So it looks like maybe we're gonna stabilize into a mid-game. Timbo continuing the ling production. Yellow Jello has the +1 melee already? Yeah, he has the +1 melee. He's getting Carapace. And that means his units are just gonna be better. Both Banelings kind of just suiciding into each other there. Oh, watch out! Oh! Okay, no more lings from Timbo here. Just Banelings, and that's not going to do too well against queens. But he does pull back. And Timbo still pedal to the metal. 30 more lings on the way, but I don't know. I think Yellow Jello has successfully defended. He's got a nice little wall here. He's got good upgrades. He's got roaches. And I would not be surprised if Timbo just taps out after seeing the roaches. But let's see if he can weasel his way in. Maybe he can sneak in, find some drone damage, maybe equalize this game a little bit. Some pretty okay Baneling hits on the lings, but I don't know, the roaches still a little too strong. These Banelings gonna waddle forward, maybe try to find the mineral line, but no. One Baneling not gonna be enough there, and the lings lose to the roaches. Reduce the Yellow Jello, almost doubling Timbo's supply now. Timbo starts droning up now, but is it too late? I think yes. I think we're gonna be seeing a game number 5. Yellow Jello just needs to close this out. He is moving out now with some lings and roaches. Timbo just gonna GG. We are in game 5 of this best of 5. We are tied up 2-2. It is down to the wire. These guys pretty evenly matched. It is Timbo Slice up against Yellow Jello. Game number 5 going to be contested on the largest map in the map pool. Map size not too important in a mirror matchup, but it does lend itself to macro games. But of course, either player can flip that on its head, go for a rush. It doesn't look like they're doing so, so they're both up to 17 supply right now. And it looks like both players are going to go for a hatch first. Scratch that. Yellow Jello going for a 17 pool. Strange, but okay. That's gonna favor Timbo, at least in the early game. Ever so slightly. Not end of the world for Yellow Jello. He's getting his expansion. What is worrying is how delayed his speed is gonna be. Is Timbo already mining gas? Yellow Jello only just starting his. It may or may not come into play depending on if Timbo goes for any kind of aggression. But again, Lings with speed, much better than Lings without speed. And yeah, things are just quiet right now. Not gonna see any Lingbane fights, at least for now. It may happen later on, but right now let's enjoy the quiet. 2 Lings from Yellow Jello. Gonna start making their way across the map. No Lings yet from Timbo, so these 2 Lings could potentially find another drone like last game. Good job pulling back from Timbo, but maybe respecting that a little too much. That was some lost mining time. And no, into the main. Does get 1 drone there, so good trade, even if he loses both Lings, which he will. But yeah, fair trade, 50 minerals for 50 minerals. Yellow Jello with this Overlord positioning, not ideal in ZvZ, because if Timbo has his own Overlord around here, the Queen can have vision to snipe that down. Yellow Jello going for a Baneling Nest. But getting more drones, so not gonna commit to aggression, at least just yet. Timbo not getting his own Baneling Nest, which is a little worrying. You typically kind of need a Baneling Nest, at least for safety, even if you don't intend to go for an attack. So Timbo perhaps... oh, yep, that's exactly what I was talking about. But let's see if Timbo gonna move out to catch this, because Queen not gonna be able to get it from in its base. Timbo being very defensive right now, and he's actually down in workers. Now he's up with some spawning. Yellow Jello going for... wait. I'm not really sure. What is this 3 Ling, 3 Bane attack? He's got 4 more Lings joining up, but this is not a very scary army. He's going to spot these spines, and he's not going to be able to do anything. Now he's just hanging out on his opponent's creep. Timbo sees this, of course. And Yellow Jello with more Lings on the way. Not sure why. Does he want to try to bust this? I don't know if that'll really work out for him. Timbo going for a layer. He is getting his 1-1 ranged and carapace. No Roach Warren yet. So, Timbo, you want to throw that down soon? There we go. Yellow Jello running across with more lings. Timbo does spot this with his overlords. It's very difficult to sneak past your opponent in ZvZ. So Timbo is at least aware of this. I don't think he's really gonna react in any way. He probably feels pretty safe behind this wall. He can't really do too much anyways. This is Roach Warren's not done. And Yellow Jello, he has his own Roach Warren as well. He's got his third base, starting to mine from there, and he's been keeping up in the workers, down a little bit, but that's fine. And yeah, Timbo banking a lot of money. He does start up 10 roaches. He still has larvae, so kind of odd he's not making more stuff. Overlord for Yellow Jello, gonna float slowly in and gonna get picked off by the queen. Another one? Okay, so double scout from Yellow Jello, sacrificing 2 overlords. And I don't know what he really saw. Yellow Jello going for a big attack now. He is hanging out on creep, so Timbo has full vision of this. And he can prepare accordingly. He sees these Ravagers morphing. And what is he going to do behind this? He's got a handful of roaches here. Not sure why they're in the main. But 2-2 on the way. 3 spine crawlers still standing strong at the front. But Timbo, he's still on 2 bases. His opponent has the third. It's been up for a while now. Not being fully utilized, of course, but he can transfer drones. He can drone that up. He has that available, is the point I'm trying to make. Both players have their roach speed, and Timbo wants to move out. He unburrows his spine crawler, lands some good biles on the lings, and he does have the upgrade lead. So he's going to chase just briefly. The army count pretty close, so it's hard to tell who's up in that regards. And Timbo making more roaches. Is 2-2 a little bit more than halfway done? Yellow Jello only with a +1 attack. His +1 carapace is on the way. So Timbo, in about, I don't know, 30-40 seconds, is going to have a huge upgrade lead. Income, however, still favoring Yellow Jello. It has been for some time. Kind of. I don't know. But yeah, Timbo's gonna need to find some damage or just try to play from behind in terms of economy. But he does have his 2-2 finishing up shortly, so I do hope for his sake that he goes for an attack. Yellow Jello has been going back. He's dropping some biles on his own units. What are you doing, man? It doesn't even get the overseers. Okay, I mean, not the end of the world because Zerg units regenerate. But still, look at these roaches. They just ate biles from their own buddies. One overseer going down there. Second one in danger. Oh, here comes Timbo for a big attack with this 2-2. And that's a huge upgrade lead. Biles coming down on both sides. Yellow Jello somehow with the partial surround, but the upgrade lead for Timbo. Is it going to be too much? I don't know. Defender's advantage going to be pretty good for Yellow Jello. I think it's really close. All the Ravagers have somehow gone down from Timbo. Only one remaining for Yellow Jello, but his reinforcements spawn, and that's going to force Timbo back. He's got 19 roaches on the way, and yeah, that wasn't quite the damage he was looking for. He still has the upgrade lead, but it is dwindling. It's Yellow Jello's +2 attack finishing up, so Timbo only with the +1 lead. Lots of overlords here that can potentially be biled down. That's a nice little pickoff. 3 for 1 there. Of course, Yellow Jello has supply to spare, so it's fine. Timbo, with his 116 army lead, should try to find some damage. Still only 1 Ravager from Yellow Jello, so that number favoring Timbo as well as he moves in kind of crazily, just running in, dropping some vials, and now he's found himself a nice little surround, but he did take some hits getting to that position. So Yellow Jello is gonna defend this. Yeah, I don't know if that was worth it for Timbo. He needs to pull back or he's gonna lose all these roaches, and the supply dropping for for Timbo down to 71. GG gets called, and Yellow Jello gonna take the series 3-2. Alright, so we were supposed to get Yellow Jello versus Kevin.
Need more minerals.
And Yellow Jello just bounced after winning.
Harvest more
Timbo doesn't want to play more ZvZ. So it's me against Kevin, RVZ, spawning a Zerg in game number 1. What am I gonna do in this game? As always, spawning as Z. I'm not gonna play standard. So I'm thinking, I mean, I'm gonna open standard, but I'm thinking
Need more
skip Lings, skip Banes, and go straight to Roaches.
Not enough minerals.
And let's see what happens. Of course, it's gonna make any early game attacks a bit difficult to hold. But that's kind of the point. I'm delaying gas because I don't really need gas for speed. If I'm skipping Lings, I do want it eventually, of course. But just gonna drone up now, focus on the mineral income. And maybe start getting a gas soon. I don't really know, because this is not how you play ZvZ. So I'm just kind of winging it as I go. And yeah, like I said, no Lings, so let's actually get a spine. And I want to get a Roach Warren ASAP as possible. I kind of want to use it in my wall though, so alright, let's just wait.
A queen rises.
Oh no! Okay, got Roach Warren in my wall. Let's get a better wall. Drones.
A new queen has emerged.
There's the Roach Warren. What do we do? Do we get a layer now? I don't really know. Let's go for a layer. Why not?
Spawn more overlords.
Ah, supply blocked. Some
Swarm is under siege. We require overlords.
Where are my overlords? Oh no.
Not enough Vespine. Insufficient out of energy.
Okay, he's going for his third.
More factories upon creep.
Go for burrow. Let's try to get a third also. Get more roaches.
Must acquire Vespine gas. Energy is too low.
feel like he's probably gonna go mute us. That is what he likes to do. Let's get an overseer to scout.
Out of energy siege. Swarm is under siege.
Lots of lings here. Oh, Spire, surprise!
We have evolved. Now we
Let's get some more drones, get some
complete.
spores.
Good. That must evolution complete.
Ah! Kill it! Alright, nice.
No.
So,
Energy is too
it's getting
more.
mutas. I don't really want to go Hydras. So let's see if we can make this happen
We have evolved. Now we collect.
with infestors. I'm gonna have to chain fungal. It's gonna be difficult.
We require overlords.
Where's my burrow movement? Hurry up!
Swarm evolution siege.
Okay, let's try to get some damage here.
Out of energy.
I don't think he knows. Shh, be very quiet. Oh no, he's morphing some stuff!
Swarm is under.
He's going for a
Swarm
his own infestation pit for a hive.
mineral field.
Yeah, just messing him up.
We have swarm is under siege. Swarm is under siege. Mineral cluster.
Ah!
Swarm is under siege. Mineral field
Okay, I
exhausted.
don't think he sees me.
Swarm is under siege. Mutation finished.
Get our own hive. Ultraless cavern! Oh no. We gotta go before that gets here.
Under siege. Spawn more overlords.
Oh, let's bring my... Gotta bring my infestors as well. Don't know how many he was able to spawn. How do you know I was going Burr Roaches? So Kevin doesn't want to play me anymore. We've gotten off Race Clown Fiesta. It is the blue Protoss Timbo Slice. And the red Terran Kevin Lee. We all know Protoss is OP, so I think probably gonna favor Timbo in this matchup, but just ever so slightly. Timbo gonna get his pylon on the high ground. Kevin likewise getting his supply depot on the high ground. Single gas from Kevin. Forge as well for Timbo. He's getting his gas as well. Yeah, not too much to talk about in this opening. Cybernetics core, very natural progression. Reaper on the way from Kevin. Timbo's gonna have to chrono boost that Stalker or get some cannons in places. Probably doesn't want to get cannons. And the expansion going down for Timbo. There's that Stalker with the Reaper already on the way. Chrono boost on the Warp Gate. You should probably chrono boost the Stalker so it can get out in time. But let's see if that Reaper does any damage. This is a long map, so by the time he gets there, maybe the Stalker will be out just barely in time. Reaper hops in, gonna start firing at the probes. big reaction from Timbo. Doesn't get a surround, but the Stalker comes out. That's going to be enough to... Oh! The Reaper did get the probe, but Reaper goes down. So, good trade for Timbo. Continuing to chrono boost that warp gate. Not sure why. Because I promise you, when his warp gate finishes, he's not going to spend his money on warping in units. Believe you me. That ain't happening. Natural expansion up for Timbo, likewise for Kevin, who is walling off the front of his base now. Not the most important thing in this matchup, because obviously there are no Ling run-bys. But still, it doesn't hurt, so why not? Warp gate research is done. Warp gates have been morphed. And oh, he does use it for one single adept. 2 adepts. Alright, I underestimated you, Timbo. I apologize. Robo facility now. For what? Observer. And it looks like Timbo going for a gateway-centric build. No Stargates, no Twilight Council. And the Observer gonna start making its way across the map. That's gonna give Timbo some much needed scouting information, as he has no idea what his opponent is doing. Kevin is going for a mech build. He's got some factories. He's getting double armory. Mech very powerful, however it does take a while to ramp up. And Timbo moving across with a handful of adepts. Interesting choice here. But it should be okay. 4 Hellions versus 4 Adepts. I favor the Adepts here. And now it's only 2 Hellions. However, the Hellions is quite a bit faster, and Timbo gonna chase his opponent back to his base. So the Hellions might find a couple probes. Oh! Careful. Gets 1 probe. The Adepts do clean it up. But yeah, there was a big opportunity there for Timbo, because there was nothing much over at the Terran side of things, but he went all the way back to defend that. And now there's 2 tanks, 2 Widow Mines, and Kevin's gonna be just dandy. No additional tech from Timbo. He hasn't been spending his money. Hasn't been warping in stuff. Likewise, Kevin not really doing a whole lot. Timbo, he sees this with his Observer, but goes in anyways. The splash damage takes out the Observer. And yeah, not sure why he decided to go for that, but he shades into the natural. Gonna get a couple SCVs here. The siege tanks reposition, and the splash damage gonna pick off another SCV, I think. But that should be enough to defend this. Very annoying because the siege tanks can't hit it. So a lot of lost mining time. 10 SCVs go down. That's a good little attack from Timbo. Down goes the Adepts. Again, not warping in anything back at home. He's got warp gates, but not using any of their warp-in charges. Instead, he's going to get more gateways, because why would you not use your 6 gateways when you can not use your 11 gateways? He's even getting more. I mean, why though? Alright, I feel like you just, utilize the ones you have, but sure. Kevin, he's just been pumping out tanks. Just chilling. Slowly massing up his mech army. He's gonna be dropping his third. Timbo warping in 6 adepts. Not sure why he's committing to adepts. They're kind of like an early game harass unit. Don't really want them later on. He's getting charge from the Twilight Council. That's going to help the Zealots close the distance on the tanks. That could be very helpful. Warp gates finishing up, still not really utilizing them fully. Actually warps in a lot of adepts, but again, adepts just why? I don't understand. Third base finishing from Timbo. He's going to be transferring some workers over there. Going to be chrono boosting his upgrades. Getting a warp prism. And more adepts? That is ludicrous. He's got an observer here. He sees the composition of Kevin. And somehow Timbo feels like adepts are still the right choice. And I can tell you right now, they're not. So, yeah. Here he comes with a bunch of adepts. They're gonna get shredded by the tanks. Adepts only good against light units, so not Thors, not tanks. And what's the move here, Timbo? He's gonna shade in. Is he gonna let this finish? I don't know if he knows how to cancel it. So yeah, lets it finish. Goes into the main, gonna eat a ton of tank shots, but might get some SCVs here. Yeah, I don't think that was worth it. 7 SCVs. Gonna lose all his adepts, unless he goes for a recall. Not sure he knows how to do that either. Gonna try to shade out of there, but gonna eat some more tank shots, Widowmine. And is this a planetary? It's hard to tell with this skin, but it looks like no. Did Kevin morph this into anything? Okay, gonna get a few more SCVs here, but still I don't think that was worth it. Behind this, Timbo hasn't been doing anything. 2,500 minerals. He's at 58 supply. What? And then he loses that entire army. He's back at home doing stuff. And he doesn't think of like spending any of it. Going for some harassment in the main with the Warp Prism. That's cute. But yeah, I feel like this isn't really accomplishing much. And when Kevin inevitably moves out, and Timbo's just gonna die. Does catch a couple Thors here, which is nice. But look at all these Thors. And Timbo's gonna have no answer for those. Kevin going for the 5 siege tank counter attack here. Obviously standard play. Another Zealot run by at the third, gonna shred up some more SCVs. But the big problem is all this army from Kevin. And what answer does Timbo have? Nothing. He's morphing, he's warping in stalkers at home. They are gonna die to this many Thors. And somehow Kevin with 5 siege tanks here. Timbo doesn't even have blink. He's just gonna walk right up and try to get these tanks. Gets 2 of them. That's about it. Kevin gonna drop some mules for the repair. Timbo down to 81 supply. Warping in Zealots. That was the correct answer. But now the Thors have arrived, and what are Zealots really going to do? A whole lot of nothing. And GG gets called. So Kevin going to take game number 1 in this off race. And only game